Hi, my name's Leanne Cook. I'm the Assistant Director of the Epicenter. We're excited to tell you about the LifeSkills data collection tools that we have, and wanted to let you know that these tools are made available through a grant from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency and the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. In this quick webinar, I want to tell you about the LST data reports that we have and show you a sample. I want to show you where to locate our data collection tools on the Epicenter website. I want to help you understand the different data collection steps and explore the Epicenter's LST data aggregation and analysis tool, and then give you some information if you want to schedule a follow-up consultation with us. And so let me just now take you to our sample outcomes report. This is a LifeSkills training outcome summary that we created for 4 Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency grantees that were funded from 2015 through 2016. What's exciting about this report to me is that it shows both process data, so how many youth were served, how many received the year 1 lessons, how many completed the full dose of the program, and also some information about model fidelity, and if the program was done as designed, and if there was areas for improvement. And that also shows information about the impact of LST. For instance, 68% of the youth that received the program had improved knowledge of drugs, 51% had improved task persistence, 35% had decreased peer use perception. So this is an exciting program, and it's great to be able to share this data. Can be really powerful to share it with teachers, administrators, school boards, to help them understand the impact of your LST program and the importance of sustaining a program like this after grant funding ends. So how could you get started to create this kind of report? Well, the good news is the Epicenter website has all the resources that you would need, and they're available for free. This is our website. If you navigate there and click on the Evidence-Based Programs tab, that'll take you to the list of programs we support. And if you click on the LifeSkills Training Program, it'll take you to our LifeSkills Training resources. By clicking on Evaluation Tools, that takes you to everything you'll need to do the data collection process. So there's a few steps to collecting data for LST. The first is understanding the pre-post survey process, and those are available here. And then there's also a fidelity observation process using these fidelity checklists, and those are available here. We also have some supporting documents like survey instructions, and this is an observation log to help folks track their fidelity observations. And then finally, we have our Excel-based outcome analysis tool, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So the LifeSkills pre-measure is administered prior to the first LST lesson, and then again after the final LST lesson. Each survey takes about 15 to 20 minutes to complete, and they're available in Spanish as well as English. And if you look here, you can see we've formatted this so that it can be compatible with some scanning softwares. That could be a labor-saving device if you're doing a very large LST implementation. If we go back to the website, you can download the fidelity checklists. And these are the developer-approved fidelity checklists. There's one for each lesson. And your facilitators can utilize these to monitor their fidelity and enter this data into the Excel tool I'm going to show you in a minute. We do recommend fidelity observations at least 2 to 3 times per cycle, observing 2 to 3 lessons. That can either be done by a school administrator or trained peer observer. So once your fidelity data and your pre-post data have been collected, then you're going to enter that data into this Excel tool. So you can download the tool just by clicking here. Opening that up. And you can see there's an instructions tab. It's important to click enable editing. And this actually includes 10 sections or tabs that you access through clicking here at the bottom. And I'll just walk you through those real quick. This is the instructions tab. As I said, you can print this out. It's formatted so it can print easily. And then there's a process measures tab, a tab that includes outcomes information. These two tabs sort of summarize all of the other data that's entered in the spreadsheet. This is an observation log where the fidelity observation ratings are entered, the observer, teacher name, the quarter the observation was made, what classroom it was, what LST lesson number was observed. And there's also a place to enter comments. This is where the survey data is entered, the pre-data here, and then below in the green section, the post data. And then there's an LST tracking tab where you can indicate the school, classroom, teacher, number of youth who participated, what level of LST was delivered, what grade level, number of lessons taught, start and end date. Then there are 3 descriptives tabs, which give you some additional information about your implementation and the impact on youth. And finally, there's a logic model tab. So once the data is entered into this tool, then it starts to work its magic and automatically analyzes that data. And I want to show you a sample of what that looks like. So this is a tool where there's been quite a bit of data entered. If we click here into the youth survey tab, you can see how much post data was entered. Right, so quite a bit. We have a number of fidelity observations that were entered. And we can see here that they tracked a number of classrooms. So there were many implementations of LST. All of this data was entered by the site. So something that will be important for you to think about is who will do that work for you? How would you get that done? We click into the summary tabs in the process tab, then we can see 683 youth were actually served by this LST implementation, and there were 592 complete pre-posts entered into this tool. Then if we click into the outcomes tab, then we can start to see, well, what was the impact of LST? And we see 48% of youth had increased anxiety reduction skills. This is where we can see, 59% had increased knowledge of the negative consequences of drug use. So this is where things start to get really exciting. Like I said before, if you want to find out more about who the youth were, you can click into your descriptives tab. This tells you some of the demographic information that's gathered from the survey. And this tab, the descriptive survey tab, tells you how the youth did on each item from pre to post. You can check for knowledge on really, individual items if you want. And then finally, this descriptives tab tells you about your youth who are less at risk in this section, youth who are sort of experimenting or at a mid-level of risk, and then this bottom section tells you about your highest risk youth around the areas of HOD use, and then intent to use, and then finally their perception of peer use. So that ends our tour. If you have questions, we welcome you to reach out to us. You can contact me at epicenter@psu.edu, or you can give us a call. We would be happy to meet with you on the phone or in person. Behind me, you can see we have an evidence-based program library that you can come and peruse. We will be producing a longer and more detailed in-depth webinar about how to use the LST tool in the future. So we invite you to watch that and reach out to us if you want to know more. Thanks a lot for your time. Bye-bye.